Have you ever noticed like a ring around the sun or potentially the moon as well? I know the other day I was at the beach and it was a pretty cold day out there and there was just this perfect ring around the sun. It actually had like a little rainbow tint to it. And then the other night I look up in the sky, see the moon up there, almost a full moon, and then there's a big ring around that as well. So it got me asking some questions, wondering what this is. And it turns out they're called halos. So you can get a sun halo or a moon halo. And I just wanted to dive into the science behind those, so that's what we're going to hopefully try to figure out throughout the course of this video. So what are sun and moon halos? Have you ever looked up in the sky and seen a ring of light around the sun or moon? These optical phenomena, known as halos, are not only beautiful but also fascinating from a scientific perspective. That's good news for us. In this blog post, we will explore the science behind sun and moon halos. So what are halos? They're named pretty well because that's kind of what it looks like. Like imagine a person's head with like a halo around them, the classic paintings that you'd see. That's almost what this looks like. It's like sun in the middle and then a full circle of this glowing light around the sun or the moon. So halos are circular or elliptical bands of light that surround the sun or moon. They are caused by the refraction and reflection of light in ice crystals in the upper atmosphere. These crystals are usually found in cirrus clouds, which are thin and wispy clouds made of ice crystals. So the first thing I think about right there is that actually makes sense because both days that I saw these, it wasn't like heavy cloud cover, it wasn't cumulus clouds that are all puffy and you can barely see through them. It was just those very wispy clouds that you can basically see through. And then you'll maybe have them on very cold days or cold nights because it has the ice crystals in them. And then that's what basically the light from the sun or the moon is going through those ice crystals. And then the key word that they have here is refraction. So the exact reasoning behind this is when light, this might get a little sciencey, when light goes through different densities, it will bend. That's why I believe if you shine a laser like at a cup of water, it'll come in at this angle, and then when it hits, so it's going through the air, and then when it hits the water, it will actually kind of tilt, it'll bend. So that's what's happening to the light as it's going through the ice crystals between you and the sun. It's bending the light, and what you're seeing is basically the reflection from that bending of light. Hopefully that makes more sense as we continue to read. So the science behind halos. The science behind halos is based on the principles of optics. We could thank, I think, Newton for a lot of this. When light passes through a medium with different refractive index, such as air to ice, it changes direction. This phenomenon is known as refraction. When the light enters the ice crystal, it refracts or bends at a certain angle. This angle is known as the minimum deviation angle. So the thing that I was just kind of popped into my head was, I believe there's an album cover. People are probably going to put negative comments if I get this wrong, but I think it's Pink Floyd that has like light, it's white light going into a glass prism, and then it comes out all the different colors. Just think of that when it comes to sun and moon halos. That's very similar process to what's happening here. And it also explains why when I saw the sun halo, it was actually kind of a rainbow because blue light will be bent more than red light, so it actually separates white light into the distinct color wavelengths. So getting back to it, the light is then reflected inside the crystal and refracted again as it exits the crystal. This causes the light to spread out and create a halo. The size and shape of the halo depend on the shape and orientation of the ice crystals. Halos can range from a simple circle to more complex shapes with multiple rings. I've never seen one with multiple rings, but that sounds pretty cool. I imagine that's a similar process to when you can see a double rainbow. And rainbows are a very similar process to what's going on here as well. It's all optics and refraction and reflection of light with air or water droplets or ice crystals and how those interact differently with light than the air around it. So let's look at some types of halos. There are several types of halos, each with a different shape and appearance. The The most common halos are the 22 degree and 46 degree halos. The 22 degree halo is a ring of light with a radius of approximately 22 degrees around the sun or moon. The 46 degree halo is a larger ring of light with a radius of approximately 46 degrees. So when I remember actually teaching about this at San Jose State. And I remember when I first read this, it was a little confusing because it was like, okay, sun's in the middle, you have a ring around it, where's the angle? It seems like there is no angle, it's just a circle around the sun. But what the angle is talking about is, so imagine my camera right there is the sun, and here is my eye. The 22 degree angle is that angle out, and then that's where you're going to see the circle right there. If you have what's the other one? 46 degree angle, it's sun to my eye, and then 46 degrees out, and then you see that circle right there. So it's going to be 22, that's going to be your small circle, 46, that's going to be the bigger ring around the sun or the moon. Another type of halo is the circumzenithal arc, that's quite a word, which appears as an upside-down rainbow located above the sun or moon. The circumzenithal arc is caused by light passing through horizontally oriented ice crystals. Don't think I've seen one of those. If anybody has, let me know in the comments. Or if you have a photo, I'd love to see what that looks like. But there are also other rare types of halos, such as the upper tangent arc, the periarc, and the supralateral arc. These halos are caused by more complex arrangements of ice crystals and are less common than the 22 degree and 46 degree halos. That kind of reminds me of, you can also get what's called sundogs. When the sun gets closer to the horizon, instead of having the full ring, you'll maybe just have two bright lights. Or yeah, you can call them bright lights on both sides of the sun. Usually red is more on the inside of that and then blue on the outside. So it almost looks like you have three different suns on the horizon, and then two of them are kind of rainbow color and not as bright, obviously, as the actual sun in the middle. Sundogs are pretty cool. I always see those surfing because surf in the evening, cool out there, some ice crystals, and then the sun dropping down low on the horizon, and then you see that distinct sundog. So how to view halos. Halos can be seen in any location where cirrus clouds are present. Again, cirrus clouds, kind of the wispy ones that you can see through. Main thing that's important is they're up high, so they're filled with ice crystals because it's colder as you go higher in the atmosphere, usually. They are most commonly seen in colder climates, such as in polar regions or at high altitudes. To view halos, look up at the sky and locate the sun or moon. The halo will appear as a ring of light around the sun or moon. So the best nights to see this would be if your weather forecaster says like mostly sunny or mostly clear, or the guaranteed one if they say like some high clouds moving through, because that was actually what I said in my forecast yesterday. And then what do you know? Saw a moon halo. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. I used to think when you saw the whole circle, that was what a sundog and a moondog was. But the sundog and moondog, that's where it's just two lights. And then the halo is the full ring. Makes more sense when you actually think about it. So halos can also be viewed through photography. By using a camera with a wide angle lens, it is possible to capture the entire halo in a single image. However, special care must be taken to ensure that the camera is not pointed directly at the sun, as this can damage the camera's sensor and the photographer's eyes. I've taken a bunch of photos of sun halos and I think I'm doing all right. So disclaimer, watch out for your eyes. Don't blind yourself taking pictures of halos. Conclusion, let's just read this. Halos are a beautiful and fascinating optical phenomenon caused by the refraction and reflection of light in ice crystals in the upper atmosphere. The science behind halos is based on the principles of optics and the interaction of light with ice crystals. By understanding the science behind halos, we can better appreciate their beauty and wonder. So, my quick summary, basically, if you have the sun there and your eyes right here, and there's some ice crystals between you and the sun, or the moon, I'll just talk about the sun in this instance. As the light is going through those ice crystals, it's refracted by the ice crystals and it forms a ring around the sun, and that's how you get either sun halos or moon halos. Hopefully you learned something throughout this video, and thanks for watching.